evening, Fort Collins. Welcome to the 2015 State of the City. Do you hear the music? It's setting the tone for this evening's special event. Are you happy? I know why I'm happy. Because I live here in Fort Collins, one of the best places in the world to live, work, play, and serve as mayor. I'm Mayor Karen Weitkunat, and with me this evening is City Manager Darin Atteberry. And also joining us this evening are some of my council members, Mayor Pro Tem Jerry Horick, Council members Gino Campana, and Wade Troxel. They're out there somewhere. Thank you. This is the 10th year representing a live State of the City address. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate our recent accomplishments and look forward to the challenges in 2015 and beyond. This past year, the Time magazine recognized Fort Collins as the #1 most satisfied city in America. And according to our latest citizen survey, you agree. 97% of the residents believe that Fort Collins is a great place to live. We are celebrating this evening in the recently expanded Senior Center for a reason. It's a beautiful place, a beautiful location, and it reflects some of the very core values of our city commitment to moving forward in a way that keeps our community strong, healthy, and happy.
Well, thank you, Mayor, and welcome, everyone. We would just want to thank you for being here, and it's really a true joy and has become an annual tradition, as the Mayor has said. It's been a true joy to provide this annual State of the City address, and you'll hear from the Mayor and I over the next few minutes what a wonderful place it is. We're both very positive, optimistic, bullish about the city of Fort Collins, and we're going to tell that story. And this tradition of telling our story, I know Kevin Dugan is here from the Colorado. We get to tell our story in this case. We get to tell the story of the health of the city, and I think by the time we're done, and when you hear about all the good things, you're going to be reminded of a lot of important accomplishments this year, and we stand up here and are very proud. You know, the state of the city, state of Fort Collins is very positive. We've accomplished a lot this year, and we're also very enthusiastic about our future, both in the short term and in the long term. The accomplishments that we'll talk about tonight, they don't happen by accident. Whether it's building Max, which you remember last year, the Mayor and I talked a lot about Max. We were very excited about that. Whether it's talking about restoring the river or crafting a $1 billion biannual budget. That's some of the work that's been done this past year. And it takes vision from elected leaders. It takes hard work from a very dedicated city staff, and it takes an enduring commitment to engagement and dialogue from our public. And so we're very thankful for that. And I hope that you get a real sense of that, because the two of us, and we can talk on behalf of the City Council as well and our city staff, how much we appreciate having a community like Fort Collins. So the Fort Collins of 2015 has really been shaped by over 150 years of collective community input. This past year, we significantly expanded our commitment to public engagement efforts. We went to schools, we went to social service agencies, we went to senior living facilities, and community markets. We hosted meetings in every part of this community, from the north side to the south side of Fort Collins, from midtown to downtown, where you told us what matters most to you, to the city organization and city government. As we look to the future, we are committed to partnering with you to shape a city that is truly seeking world class in our municipal services.
As residents, you regularly have opportunities to influence city policies and services through open houses, public forums and listening sessions, through online tools such as Access Fort Collins, and through immersive programs like the Citizen Police Academy and CityWorks. Since 2007, more than 200 CityWorks participants have become ambassadors within the community, telling friends and neighbors about city services and staying involved in city issues. Thousands of you participate in city-sponsored events and gave us feedback online this year. Our city government is most effective because of your active input and your involvement. You coach us to help us to continually improve. To be an effective coach, you need to have a clear picture of how we are doing at any given time. It's one reason we place such a high value on transparency. In 2014, we took transparency to a new level by launching the City Council Email Transparency Project. Now anyone can freely search emails to and from council members. We also provide online tools such as the Community Dashboard, which offers a clear snapshot of how your city government is delivering on our commitments.
An important part of a healthy and high-performing city is a robust economy, and one that fits our community values and provides the resources to support services that citizens need, deserve, and expect. So as many of you know, the City of Fort Collins continues to maintain a AAA rating from Moody's Rating Service. It's very important. This puts us in the top 3% of all communities rated. Through our careful and prudent approach to fiscal management and healthy revenues, I'm proud to tell you that the city is in strong financial health. As demand for city services continues to increase, it's vital that we remain financially fit. And the health of our city is significantly dependent, as everyone in the room knows, on the health of our local economy. So the good news for Fort Collins is that we have an impressive mix of large and medium-sized and small employers, along with a solid grassroots startup sector and forward-thinking entrepreneurs, all who help position Fort Collins for a balanced and stable economic future.
Hey, who watched the Super Bowl last weekend? If you did, you saw one of Fort Collins' unique manufacturing companies, Fiberlock. This local company created the iconic silver Super Bowl logos that were worn by the players on all the uniforms and equipment. Cool. And did you know that one of the world's leading robotic firms is here in Fort Collins? Wolf Robotics continues to push the envelope of what smart robotics can do for construction, mining, agriculture, and other industries. Have you heard of Numerica Corporation? This high-tech business with roots stretching back to CSU is making a huge impact in the field of surveillance systems and law enforcement around the world, and it's right here in Fort Collins. And you know what else is amazing? We're home to more than 6,000 creative professionals. Musicians, artists, entertainers fuel the vibrant culture of Fort Collins today. Can you imagine Fort Collins without Bohemian Nights at the New West Fest? Or First Friday Gallery Walk?
You know, this community loves Bohemian Nights, and I really can't imagine this community without Bohemian Nights, without First Fridays, and also without art and music in our community. And that's very, very important. We do, as a city, as a community, embrace the creative class. I think that's a very important, and as we've talked about this, it's very important moving into the future that this creative class, people who can live anywhere in the world and bring their creativity and their ideas to this community is critical. And we're both very proud to tell you we believe that this community does that, and we think we're just going to continue to get better and better. I will also say that attracting and training the next generation of workforce, it continues to be paramount. Whether that's machinists and welders training at Front Range Community College, or scientists and engineers studying at Colorado State University. It's very, very important. Our Economic Health Office actively supports local manufacturers who align VOTEC career training with industry needs. We've built strong relationships with the Poudre School District, with the Rocky Mountain Inosphere, with the Rotary Club, and NOCO BioCluster to support innovative, community-driven STEM educational initiatives. Fort Collins isn't all about work. We also love and have exceptional places to play and to relax. Downtown continues to be our crown jewel for the city, for our community. With $3 million in renovations underway and scheduled to be complete later this summer, Old Town Square promises to be a thriving gathering spot for the next 30 to 50 years. That investment, Old Town Square is getting tired. And if you go look down there, you'll see that. This investment is going to continue its presence and really being the core of this community. I think that's very important. The southeast area of town is rapidly evolving as well. Planning and design for a new 60-acre southeast community park near Fossil Ridge High School will be underway shortly, with construction beginning in 2016. The design process and the engineering process is underway, and so please do pay attention to that. That will be a significant enhancement to this community. Midtown is reawakening. Almost a year has passed since the official groundbreaking of the $300+ million Foothills Mall. I'm here to say that was over, and I know we have former mayors and council members in the room. That's been over 10 years worth of work and effort, and 3 different owners, and 5 different non-start projects. So this construction project that's underway and will be open for holidays of 2015, we believe will bring Midtown back as a top regional entertainment, dining, and retail destination. The Cache-la-Poudre River also is a northern Colorado treasure. We now have a long-term master plan that promises visitors a safe, beautiful, and enjoyable experience as we maintain, conserve, and enhance the natural values of the area. And that there's a really nuanced balance between the two. And I think our staff and what the council has done, some of the decisions that they've been making, have made a beautiful balance of those two pressures.
A strong, healthy community is one that works for everyone. This means having safe, affordable, and available housing for all. We know that there's still a lot of work to be done and that we can't do it alone. Working with Homeward 2020, the Fort Collins Housing Authority, and our community partners, the city is committed to addressing the issues of housing affordability, poverty, and making homelessness rare, short-lived, and non-recurring. This is a multidimensional issue with no easy answers. We're still learning, but we know that it requires collaboration, education, and coordination across an entire community of businesses, nonprofits, government, and citizens. The city's support for those in need extends beyond housing. Last year, the city awarded more than $800,000 to local nonprofit human service programs and agencies that support those who are most at risk in our community. With that investment, our nonprofit partners leveraged more than $10 million of support to improve the health and the resiliency of nearly 14,000 individuals and families here in Fort Collins. That support goes towards senior services and services for the disabled. It supports child advocacy. It increases access to dental care and mental health services. It helps agencies to feed, to shelter, and opens the door of opportunities for those of our community who are most vulnerable.
So 9 in 10 of residents say they feel safe in Fort Collins. 90% of us feel safe in Fort Collins. That's very important. With the recent national attention on the roles and limits of law enforcement, we're fortunate to have a very strong and respectful relationship among community members and our police. And I know Chief Hutto is here and others from police services, and that takes a lot of work. And we have a police department that is very focused on that. In 2014, Fort Collins Police Services was accredited by the Colorado Police Chiefs Association for their rigor in establishing systems and protocols to provide exceptional service. So it takes three things, in my opinion, to make a great police department. First, it takes well-trained people, it takes good equipment, and it takes the right facilities. Fort Collins Police Services definitely has great people, and we have great equipment. Improving our training facilities is a priority, and we've got a lot of work to do in that area. Our city is also well served by our emergency responders. Last year, Fort Collins 911 answered nearly 150,000 calls, dispatching personnel to fire, police, and medical emergencies. Have you heard of this app on the left, Pulse Point? So take note here, this is really, really important. When someone is in cardiac arrest, this free smartphone app makes it easy to alert registered CPR and AED users nearby. Poudre Fire Authority collaborated with the city, CSU, University of Colorado Health, and others to bring this app to our community and to provide training for users. It's just one more example of how our community is working together to save lives.
There's no doubt Fort Collins is special. I hear every day from people who love living here. You know, one of the things I love about Fort Collins are the gardens on Spring Creek. Yeah, in the corner, see the beautiful blue purple coneflower? That was this year's Christmas light edition. It was welded from recyclable materials from the Foothills Mall expansion. How cool is that? Thank you, gardens, for adding a splash of happy to our celebration. And speaking of happy, our video coming up tells you what neighbors say makes them happy about Fort Collins today.
Fort Collins, first and foremost, the people make it the best. We have amazing people. We have a very educated population. We have a variety of people. We have people that have done a lot of traveling, people from all over the world that come here.
The people here are so accepting and so
super friendly, very outgoing, and always willing to help out their neighbor.
They're all moving toward the same goal of being happy and creating a real community that is dedicating to helping everybody here.
There's kind of this like similar, like a shared feeling that like everyone kind of has.
I can still remember getting into town and driving up in the hills and wondering why everybody was waving to me when I drove by them. I never had that at home.
Living here kind of made me feel like a better person, like I'm becoming a better person, I guess I would say, because everybody's a little happier, more enjoyable to be around.
This place has a great mix of both the university environment along with a fantastic community and a great deal of culture and I like its sophistication as well.
I mean, obviously a lot of it has to do with economic opportunity. There's great jobs and great opportunities here.
The economy is pretty robust here. It's not just a one-trick pony. You have the university, you have great breweries.
The opportunity to build a business, grow a business, the school systems, the health systems. This is a great place for anybody to live. Start a family, raise a family, retire.
I love the feeling of downtown, how there are a lot of local shops. You can take your family or your friends down there and always find something new and interesting.
Just the way they keep the planters and stuff. I mean, it's just a delightful place to come downtown during the winter with the lights and stuff. So I think they make the ambiance beautiful itself. And then all the local shops and restaurants and stuff, even just to add to the attraction.
There's a lot of unique, independently owned places that you can enrich your life by contributing to.
I actually love the the art that we're doing with electrical boxes, the pianos.
I think Fort Collins Police have done a wonderful job keeping this area safe. It's a safe place for people to come bring their families and come dine and come shop.
It seems like there's a little more emphasis on lifestyle than on career here, or maybe a nice balance. And I think that lets people experience things that are really fun and really great.
There's a healthy vibe in this city. You see people out and active all the time.
All the parks in general. I love to take my niece. She's turning 3 in a couple of months, so one of our favorite things to do is come to the parks around here.
You can hike or bicycle year-round.
I love it that within about 3 minutes of where I work, I can get out here to the natural areas by the river, get some exercise.
I just love how it's really geared towards outdoors. There's a bunch of hiking trails and biking trails, and there's just a lot you can do outside.
For me, it's the mountains. I go into the mountains anytime I can because it's so close.
Just say the spirit of the mountains. I think it pulls people in, and the mountains are visible, they're in our hearts.
Just the whole river community, fresh water. Just having a river just kind of gives it a more nature sense. You have the mountains, the river, you can go up to drive through the whole Poudre Canyon. It's just right there.
So everything's built off the river. I'm an avid river fan. The bike trails along that, the bike infrastructure that we have in Fort Collins.
It has a lot of opportunities for pretty much anyone. You know, for business, for school, to study. It offers a lot of opportunities to everybody.
There are so many community activities geared towards families, things that adults and children enjoy together, and I think that it's just a really positive place for kids to learn to appreciate music and art and architecture, even with all of the renovations downtown.
It's just a great place to raise a family. There's tons of great parks and activities. The school system's really great.
One of my sons has Down syndrome, and there are so many good programs here in this town. That's another reason why we chose this town, because of the programs they had for him and just the family things to go do and hang out with your kids, and you don't have to worry about, craziness like you do in big cities.
So for me and my family, it's a no-brainer. It offers really everything that you have in a big city, but maybe without the headaches of a big city, and offers everything that you might get in a rural area, but without completely being away from society.
We love Fort Collins!
That's great.
So how many of you could say exactly the same thing? I love Fort Collins. I mean, that video just resonates so much with the mayor and I, and just in terms of genuine good people talking about what they love about this community. In that video, you heard a few emerging themes. People are friendly here, we know that. They're happy when they're out biking on trails and exploring nature. And we're fortunate to have a city with these amenities, as well as one that provides exceptional core services, one that provides clean water and keeps our power on. And our power is on, by the way, with a 99.9982% reliability. And I know, let's give
that 0.82 is really important.
For our light and power folks that are in the room, it was very important that I get that number right. 99.9982% reliability. It's really a city that provides opportunity for everyone.
The decisions we make today impact the long-term health of our city and region. One of my highlights serving as your mayor has been serving on the Presidential Task Force on Climate Preparedness. This 28-member task force advised President Obama on how the federal government can best help communities prepare for the future impacts of climate change. Through planning, preparedness, and involvement with others, we are able to address climate change and our role in greenhouse gas emissions, air quality, and attaining a healthy environment. The White House, the state of Colorado, FEMA, EPA, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture all recognize Fort Collins as a regional leader in environmental health and stewardship. Yeah, that's cool. We are taking innovative approaches to saving energy. Fort Collins Utilities has installed nearly 100,000 advanced electric and water meters in your homes, schools, and businesses. As utility customers, you hold the power to monitor your own energy use, control costs, and conserve resources. Now it's time to take energy conservation to the next level. Guess what, Fort Collins? For the next 2 years, you're going on an energy diet. We're semi-finalists in the Georgetown University Energy Prize Competition, competing with 50 cities across the nation to reduce our energy consumption. Our goal is to double our community energy savings by the end of 2015. There's a $5 million prize. That's something to work for. So, come on, Fort Collins. Let's diet together and lose a watt.
That's good. What I love about this is I love competitions and I love prizes. And so we're obviously very, very excited about that. We're being diligent about our long-range environmental initiatives. Priorities such as waste reduction, recycling, and air quality are important now and will make a huge impact on our future. This year, we're in the midst of updating our city's climate action plan. If we're serious about being carbon neutral by 2050, if we're serious about that, we must have direct and forward-thinking conversations about how we get there together, and not the same old thinking, systems thinking, collaborative thinking, and through partnerships. And I think that the City Council, with those kinds of things, believes that this city can, by 2050, become carbon neutral city, which is huge. Our community also continues to increase renewable energy capability with investments in solar and wind. This year, Fort Collins Utilities and the Platte River Power Authority are more than doubling the amount of solar capacity in our community. And it's not just the sun that's giving our city a bright future. In December, Platte River tapped into wind-generated power at the Spring Canyon expansion in eastern Colorado. This project will provide the equivalent energy used by about 28,000 homes across Fort Collins, Estes Park, Longmont, and Loveland. Our power provider, Platte River, plays a critical role in helping the city reach our sustainability goals.
Getting from place to place safely and with ease is one of your top priorities, and it's one of ours too. City crews plowed nearly 75,000 lane miles of snow. They repaired more than 28,000 linear feet of sidewalk and filled, are you ready for this? 14,070 potholes. Hey, and if you're keeping count, that's 551 more than last year. Thank you. The Mulberry Street Bridge across the Poudre River is being replaced after 65 years of service. When the bridge is finished, wider lanes, pedestrian sidewalks, and bicycle lanes will create a safer route for commuters and bring new life to this important community gateway. Starting this spring and continuing through the summer, the Colorado Department of Transportation will complete the much-needed repaving of College Avenue from Harmony Road to Mulberry. Yeah. Finally. We know these projects are areas of major frustration and inconvenience for drivers and cyclists, but the short-term pain really will be worth the finished project.
Well, so the mayor says if you're keeping count, obviously we keep count. So these number of potholes and all the other data that we're mentioning, we are a data-driven organization. And that's through leadership from the mayor and from council. And I think that that rigor and that thoughtfulness and the data helps us be much, much better. That's not by accident. And I'll talk more about that in just a minute. In last year's State of the City address, the mayor and I, as I mentioned earlier, were really excited about the pending opening of the MAX bus rapid transit system. The good news is that MAX opened, and it opened in May as promised, and it opened on time, and it opened under budget. That's a really, we're really proud of that. Transport added 482,000 miles of new service this past year. It's an increase of more than 50% of service. Transport now brings 1.5 million miles of service to our community each year. Still, there's a demand for more routes, extended hours, and Sunday service. We must continue the conversation about how to fund these transit priorities into the future.
Bicycling is another critical part of our healthy and diverse transportation system. The Bicycle Library, Bicycle Ambassador Program, and bicycle infrastructure were keys to us becoming a platinum-level bicycle-friendly community back in 2013. That's a designation that we share with only 3 other cities in America. Boulder's one of those 2. Last year, Council approved the Bicycle Master Plan, which lays the foundation of Fort Collins to reach the unprecedented diamond level. I'm thrilled that Fort Collins will bring the best cyclists from around the globe back this August when we host the 2015 U.S. Pro Challenge. Hosted in partnership with our Northern Colorado neighbors, this event will again showcase our cycling culture on the world stage. You know, we don't pursue national accolades or awards simply because we want the press coverage. We do it because we are serious about being the best city in America to live, to work, and play today and tomorrow.
So I didn't know the mayor was going to mention another city like Boulder, but since she's mentioned it, and I mentioned I love competition, and I also love prizes. You know, folks, Aspen and Brighton are 2 Colorado cities that we're competing against for the for
$5 million. $5 million.
So she started it, but that's our competition in Colorado. So the mayor talked about accolades and awards that the city has received, and there's many, many, many awards. I will tell you, and I want to speak to what we call our journey of continuous improvement. It really is deeply embedded in all of our areas of our municipal organization. Last fall, evaluators, off-site evaluators who we'd never met before, I think there were 7 or 8 or 9 of them that came to our organization, came and visited the city organization for close to a week. They're from the Rocky Mountain Performance Excellence Program. And after closely examining our focus on customers, workforce, and operations, they awarded our city the prestigious Peak Award. Now, in the 13-year history of this program, Fort Collins is the only and the first municipality and only the 5th organization in Colorado, public sector, private sector, nonprofit sector, to receive this peak level recognition. Thank you. And incidentally, and you may recall, our own Poudre Valley Hospital was one of the others that received this award back in 2006. So while it's an honor, as the mayor mentioned, to get such prestigious recognition, really the real benefit comes from what we learn in the process. And the opportunity to continually learn and improve is why we've set our sights on the national equivalent of this award, the Malcolm Baldrige Award in 2015.
Just as we have personal responsibility to maintain our own fitness, we must embrace the responsibility we have as city stewards to plan and provide for the future health of a vibrant and evolving city. We have several major planning projects underway. The Midtown in Motion College Avenue Transportation Study, the Lincoln Corridor Plan, the West Central Area Plan, and Prospect Road Design. All of these will influence the character and the feel of our city.
So we need to preserve and enhance the things that make our neighborhoods unique and special as well. In the recent budget process, City Council approved $600,000 to support neighborhoods that are in a state of transition. Over the next 2 years, these funds will be used to improve streetscapes and provide low or no-cost loans for housing reinvestment. We will also engage with residents in new ways to better understand what's most important within your local neighborhoods. In addition, the city is investing $850,000 over the next 2 years into our historic Buckingham, Andersonville, and Alta Vista neighborhoods. As the city continues to experience more infill development, programs such as our Nature in the City program will preserve critical connections to nature by giving residents access to high-quality, formal and informal natural spaces within a 10-minute walk from anywhere in the city. And I believe that this will have a profound, long-term positive impact on our community.
Many of our most important community assets were born as solutions to community challenges and desires. For instance, Old Town Square helped save a dying downtown. The Museum of Discovery forged a groundbreaking partnership to merge history and science and inspire people of all ages. Even this very senior center you are enjoying tonight started as a community vision. Your ideas motivate us, they challenge us, and they make us proud to be a part of this city. We're grateful to hear from the community every day about what it would take to keep Fort Collins moving forward. Let's take a moment now and hear a few of the things you think are important to the future of Fort Collins.
I think something that could be addressed is just the diversity in Fort Collins. I think it's getting better, and there like a lot of events are surrounding diversity, and more people are coming from different places. And so I think just as long as we continue growing that, because our world is very diverse, so as a community we should also be like that.
I think we could do a little bit more with sustainability things. I know we're already doing a lot. I think though there's a lot of opportunity that maybe people aren't even aware of, things that they haven't even thought about yet. And if we could somehow find a way to reach more people that have more ideas about how to reduce our carbon footprint, that'd be great.
One of the biggest concerns on my mind right now is how are we going to maintain our quality of life? The hottest topic on my brain is the fracking issue. I'm proud that the voters in the city are taking a stand on that, and I want to feel that the city cares about the long-term future, that we're going to be stewards of this community and this place.
Oh, I would like to see the bus system expanded, perhaps, more hours and running on Sunday, things like that.
Might want to do something about traffic at some point. It's getting a little congested, but that could be because I drive around in a truck all day.
The emphasis on bike commuting and the bike system and the trail system has been huge and should be kept up and expanded as the city expands.
I'm way on the south side of Fort Collins down by Trilby, and we're kind of isolated. There's no direct access to the bike path. I know they're trying to make the whole bike path connect in a loop, but it'd be really great if we could get access to that trail, Fossil Ridge Trail, from Trilby and College.
We love the trails out here, but it would be great to have some more navigation tools or mapping, because you know, it's nice to know where you're going, and I feel like even if I'm comfortable, there might be people who are, you know, nervous or scared to go out on some of the trails not knowing where they lead to.
I worry that the rental rates in downtown are going to bring in more corporate places and push out the independent business owners, and I'd like to see them foster more independent businesses and make it possible for us to stay unique.
I think just making sure that we
kind of stick to these mom and pops and not getting big corporations down here in Old Town especially. Just kind of giving that Old Town feel, just uniqueness.
And I'd like to see more local businesses on the south end of town. We tend to see a lot of chains, which I know chains are important to the economy, your big box stores, but I would like to see more local businesses penetrate the south end of town.
I would like to see the city maybe do more on the south side of town as far as festivals and things like that. I don't know how feasible that is, but it definitely takes a bite out of my sales in the summertime when all those events are going on in Old Town.
We need affordable housing. I mean, rents can't keep going the way they're going for us business owners and for the single starter families that want to move in here and enjoy what Fort Collins has to offer. We benefit by making it affordable for people to live here.
Improving on the city means more jobs, more construction for folks like me. It turns into more economy in the future.
I would love to see the side streets plowed a little bit better when it snows a lot, just because not a lot of people know how to drive in the snow, and that would be one of my main things.
Perhaps to make it more affordable for families to be able to go indoor someplace, get the exercise you need, even with little tiny ones that you have that might not be able to go into the gym or onto a track with you.
I don't think we're missing anything. I'm just excited to see where we start to go. With the development of the River District, with Block 1 there, the brewery starting to surround that because of the water source. I'm excited to see what else happens along the river, whether it be north of Fort Collins, past the river, even expanding as we start to towards the hillside and out east.
Parking in Old Town, a familiar subject.
I feel like they're going to have to build at least another parking garage just to support everything.
Parking has become an issue, and you hear it mostly from our customers.
I think there needs to be more places for like kids to go hang out at night, because I think a lot of the places close really early, and that's when kids start getting in trouble because there's not much to do, so they try to figure out something else to do.
Anytime that you have a college town like this, you really need to do things that I think cater around young people, even because it gives energy to everybody. And this is a great community, and we can do things that are centrally focused here in Fort Collins and not have to go down to Denver.
We need that little guy at City Council meeting every Tuesday night. Well, he was agreeing with Mom, wasn't he? Well, we definitely hear that feedback, and I think take that very seriously. This and many of the priorities are now part of the city budget that were actually mentioned in our long-term plans. That said, it's important to understand that a healthy and happy future for the city of Fort Collins can't be done by the city alone. Many of the decisions ahead this year continue to require meaningful community dialogue. They'll need commitment from the community to work together and to address impacts of some very large and complex issues. Whether it's infrastructure and traffic impacts that rise from projects such as the proposed CSU Stadium, the future of the Fort Collins Municipal Loveland Airport, Fort Collins Loveland Airport, or matters such as poverty, homelessness, and housing, these challenges do not go away with a changing population.
As collective stewards, we have a shared responsibility to keep making Fort Collins better and better. We have 150 years of history verifying that strong leadership and future vision and planning build a strong, healthy community. In April, we will begin the next leg of our journey to Fort Collins' future. The citywide election presents two community choices about where we are going. Do we renew a quarter-cent community capital improvement tax to renovate historic structures, to build a southeast community center with an outdoor pool, to replace bridges, to improve housing options? Do we continue a quarter-cent sales tax to fund street maintenance? In April, 1/2 of the leadership of the city will change with the election of 3 council seats in districts 2, 4, and 6, as well as a new mayor. Voting is the most important way you can participate in creating the future vision, leadership, and direction that will make Fort Collins a healthy, balanced, and happy community.
So as we look to the future, it's impossible to know exactly what's in store, but we do know one thing for certain, is that we're building on a great foundation in Fort Collins. We have strong community partners who share our goals of fostering a happy and healthy city for generations to come. You know, I can't close without taking a moment to thank my colleagues, our mayor and city council. Council, let me just start by saying thank you for your hard work, for your vision, for your support of myself and the city staff. But this idea of taking your vision and being clear about that vision and operationalizing it is what we try and do every day as a city staff. And I know you're taking the feedback from the community, and that system works very, very well. And so I can say to you that as we look at the state of the city, the vision and the operationalizing of that vision is very, very strong. We're in really, really good shape. So council members who are here and who aren't here, I want to thank you on behalf of our city organization and really this community for your leadership. We appreciate that very much. Can we give them a hand? I also want to just speak very quickly to our remarkable city workforce. These people are truly committed to this community. They work day in and day out to deliver on the city overall mission, which, if you don't know, is providing exceptional service for an exceptional community. So, you know, I've been doing this for about 25 years, and I've never found a more competent, dedicated workforce than here in Fort Collins. And let me also say, and I know our city executive team is here as well, and I see a lot of folks either up here or around the room. And I can tell you, I've never worked with a more effective, high-performing group in this entire career. So can we say thank you to our city workforce? Okay. So I get to say thank you to the mayor as well, and this is going to be the hard part, I think, for her. So just, you know what I first of all, Mayor, on behalf of the over 2,000 city employees that work for the city of Fort Collins, we want to thank you. Wow. So.
Okay. Beauty.
So the mayor has been a steadfast supporter of city staff for the years that she's been as the mayor, and most of you probably know she was on council for 8 years and on planning and zoning board and on and on and on. And I can tell you that what she does, this is sort of the non-scripted part, by the way, you probably tell. What she does is she supports a competent workforce and people who are deeply committed. And again, she has done that flawlessly. She was on the city council back 10 or 11 years ago when I was appointed as a city manager. And I remember Karen saying, this guy might be too young or he might be inexperienced. Not any longer, as you can see. But I remember the mayor saying to me, you know what? I want to get him on this point of his curve and not on that point of his curve. And she was a big supporter of people who showed promise and could see that in people, and she's been consistent that way as long as I've known her. Karen, you've been a true joy to work with. You were what I most appreciate about the mayor is that she reminds me of my own mother this way, and not because she reminds me of a mom. She knows my mom, and I will tell you though, but she has this incredible sense of trust. And not blind, naive trust, but she trusts people, and she has a level of optimism which you've probably seen, and how she's one of the most optimistic people that I know, and also hopeful. and she sees the glass half full. And then finally, what I want to say is, without question, she has a deep, deep love for Fort Collins. And so with that, Mayor, you've been a true joy to work with. Tom, I appreciate the giving her to us and sharing, and appreciate you as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Weitkunat for her last part of the State of the City address.
Thank you. That was very good. Ooh, this is kind of like a swan song, folks. So, but the music is. Where's the happy music?
Where's the happy?
In 2011, when I began my journey as mayor, I campaigned on a platform of keeping the future bright for Fort Collins. As you know, I will not be seeking a third term, so I want to end the evening by sharing how extremely proud and honored I am to have successfully served the people of Fort Collins during a truly positive and golden age for the city. Fort Collins has never been so radiant. Over the past 4 years, we have shined brilliantly with over $1 billion in economic activity. We are successfully rebuilding a new mall after 15 years of trying. We'll add jobs and economic stability with the rise of the international headquarters and campus for Woodward, a valued 60-year community partner. I am so proud to see the sun shining on the future of North College Avenue as finally being integrated into the fiber of the community. One of my brightest moments is when I took the national spotlight on the environment with the appointment to the Presidential Task Force on Climate Change and Preparedness. Our environmental work is recovery and resiliency from the devastating Hyde Park fire and the biblical 2013 flood has become a national model for other communities. One of the happiest and most satisfying and fun events for me was the release of the endangered black-footed ferret, who in its natural environment at Soapstone. It took years of planning, but wow, what a gold star for our commitment to our planet. One of the biggest and most radiant events for this city was the hosting of the US Pro Challenge. Fort Collins is an international success because of our team spirit, our thousands of engaged volunteers, our cooperative partnerships, and our world-class environment that we call home. Right on, Fort Collins. We have accomplished great things the past 4 years. Fort Collins' future has never been brighter. But now it's time for me to focus my own golden years on my family and my husband. As you know, I've had a wonderful partner for 47 years. My husband, Mr. Mayor, Tom. He shared every rocky step as well as the smooth seas of my journey. Thank you, Tom. So, for one more time, I am so proud to stand here and represent the city of Fort Collins, one of the best places in America to live, to work, to play, to ride a bike, to drink beer, and be the mayor and retire. Thank you, Fort Collins, for one of the greatest experiences of my lifetime.
Well done.